Let's bring in some cybersecurity experts in this conversation as well. Joining me next is Kanishk Gaur. He's an iTechnology expert, founder of India Future Foundation. Also with us is Dr. Pawan Duggal, advocate in Supreme Court, cybercrime, cybersecurity law expert as well. Kanishk, to you first. I was looking at what all access you have to give to the Sanchar Saathi app, and the list is pretty baffling. It says camera, permission required for camera, that means all your pictures, photographs and videos. It says call logs, also read all your call history. It says telephone, that means IMEI number, network information. It says SMSs which have been sent and viewing messages as well. Storage, flashlight permission, run foreground service, control vibration, run at startup, auto start when the device boosts, Google Play license check as well. Full network access, connect to the network, see Wi-Fi and mobile status, and then another one is keep device awake. Now this is a long list. My first question is, are all these things required for security and just to ensure that you know where your phone is, or perhaps if you lose it, or if perhaps there is, like a data malfunction that happens? Is all of this required?
I don't think so. All of it is required because access to your phone's pictures, access to what text messages are being sent or are being received. I don't think so. All of that is required. So this is going back to similar days when we had the COVID app, where due to spread of COVID, they wanted to track location of people, look at what are their status on COVID. So such permissions evade user privacy and trust. Mind you, we are trying to bring out a data protection and DPDP rule. This would allow government to collate data at a mass level, and this organization will then again become a significant data fiduciary. The big question is, will government keep this away from complying to data protection law by making exceptions for the Department of Telecom Digital Technical Intelligence Unit? Or would they be subjected to the similar data protection norms as significant data fiduciary? Because this is large amount of metadata which will be collected by this app. And then pre-installed apps come with a lot of tracking, which could be geolocation tracking, which could be used for surveillance as well. So this is coming out in a way that this has become a mass surveillance tool, which the government can use. So how do you keep it independent? Under what regulatory norms would you keep it working independently so the government does not misuse it against the citizens, right? For its own interest? Or how do you compare it to a tool like Pegasus, which was introduced in the past? So you have to draw boundaries between privacy, data protection versus cybersecurity. That is not clearly coming out right now. Ideally, there should have been a public consultation before government making it de facto.
Right. Let me bring in Dr.
Which
Pawan
has
Duggal
not
as
happened
well.
right now.
Yeah, of course. Mr. Duggal, now the deal is that I have done so many stories here as well on how digital frauds are taking place left, right and center. The need for a device or perhaps a way in which digital frauds can be stopped has never been more. So in a situation like that, my question to you remains the same. Are all these, pre-installing the app, doing all of this necessary? Is that the only way to give us some digital protection?
I don't think pre-installing apps alone is sufficient for giving us digital protection. We are all our own digital citizens, our own safeguards. We'll have to take each app on its own terms. Please read the terms and conditions privacy policy of each app before downloading it. Please look at the permissions that you're granting. If the permissions are not crucial or significant to the main area of operation of the app, please don't download the app. That's a fundamental stuff. Please, in the post-COVID-19 era, we have to realize the new cyber world order has come in. The golden age of cybercrime has also arrived. And it's our duty to understand that cyber criminals are targeting us with both fear and panic. In a scenario like this, as states are becoming very powerful, they're increasingly wanting to have access to more and more data. In a scenario like this, you have to make a choices how much data you want to share with the government and to what extent. So please reviewing the terms and conditions, and specifically the permissions that you give for any apps becomes of crucial necessity to determine whether you want the app or whether you don't want the app. Ultimately, please remember the Brahmastra is in your hands. The Brahmastra is to download, either not download the app, or even if it's a pre-installed app, to uninstall the app, because your privacy is more important than anything else.
But is uninstalling the app enough? Which is what I was trying to understand from Cyrus as well. By just simply uninstalling that app, which comes as part of your factory settings, are you able to keep this alleged snooping away? Is that possible?
Well, I think you'll have to wait and watch to see how things actually evolve, because the Sanchar Saathi app says I'm putting in reasonable security practices and procedures, which according to ISO 27001 is the mandated mandate under the IT rules 2021. But more clarity is required. Once we have more clarity from the government as to what are these reasonable security practices and procedures, people can take a well-informed decision as to what they need to do vis-a-vis this particular app. But ultimately, if you're going to be careful, if you're going to uninstall the app, if you are not comfortable with the app, you're going to, in any case, protect your privacy. At the end of the day, don't be in a hurry to download or to use a particular app. Please look at what the customer reviews are, what the technical experts are saying, before taking a well-informed, intelligent decision in this regard.
Mr. Duggal, you raise a very important point. But the fact is the choice really in our hand? Because look at any other app, and let me bring in Kanishk also at this point. Is the choice really ours? Today, aren't all apps doing exactly this? Isn't WhatsApp in access with everything that I do? Isn't Google? Isn't every little app that I install to sort of maybe scan my documents, or maybe use a printer document, or maybe make some greeting cards or invites, aren't all apps doing exactly this? We've done episodes earlier as well, Kanishk, and you were part of there, where we said that, listen, data privacy is a myth. We live in times where you simply cannot afford to have data privacy. And while Mr. Duggal says uninstall it, can we imagine a life without WhatsApp today? Can we imagine a life without Instagram? Like, I don't think that that is a choice at all. Kanishk?
See, when you're installing such apps, you have to assume that you are losing your metadata and they are using it for other purposes. The bigger issue that we face is you don't have a data protection law which has been implemented in the country. So you have not taken informed consent from the users. So it's the right time that you initiate the swifter implementation of the data protection bill. So whichever app, whether it is WhatsApp, whether it is Telegram, Signal, or the Saathi app that we are talking, has to take consent from users and inform the users about the permissions that it is obtaining, and also have reasonable safeguards built in. So we don't know right now, the Sanchar Saathi app, what is the level of security testing being done on this app? How secure is this app? Has anyone published a report, independent assessment report of the Sanchar Saathi app? Has it undergone a cert impaneled security audit? Has government's own agencies done a security audit?
Let's
and can they share
assume
that
it's
piece of report
as good
with
or
everyone?
bad as any other government app, which is what brings me to the question on how safe it is. Forget government misusing it. Just simple issue of safety. IRCTC, we all know what happened to that app. We know what's happening. Just yesterday, a leak, a massive leak has happened. I don't want to propagate the email ID right now or the website right now where people can punch in anybody's name and you get all their details, their numbers, all of that. That is also out. Every day there is a data breach that is taking place, which is why, Mr. Duggal, I'm trying to understand, is the fundamental question is not just about will the government misuse it, but the fundamental question is, aren't government bodies always a step behind, catching up to fraud, never ahead, and thus it makes it very dangerous?
I think governments, by and large, across the world, are pretty much in the catch-up mode. They are still not very much clued up on how to deal with the latest trends of cyber frauds. More so, cybercrime is a service powered by artificial intelligence, but we are not alone. But still, I think, given the humongous volume of the population of the country, the government is doing a remarkable job. It just is that cyber criminals are far more intelligent, far more smarter, and far more innovative. So we will have to constantly keep on enhancing the capacity building capabilities of the government, to keep on updating them about the latest trends on cybercrime, in order to empower the hands of the government to fight cybercrime as a paradigm. But that part, we have to ultimately educate the users. We have to sensitize them that while the government comes in with its own inputs, while the law is there, you ultimately have to take your own care. You have to have your own Suraksha Kavach so that you
So that
tomorrow
you will
do
do
not
on
become a
private
victim.
apps. How do you do that with government apps? I'm not sure how it works, but let me ask you a simple, plain question. And that goes to both Dr. Pawan Duggal and Kanishk Gaur as well. Simple question. Do you think this is the solution for cybersecurity in India? Yes or no? Mr. Duggal first and then Kanishk Gaur.
Any state-sponsored app is not the solution for cybersecurity. We have to inculcate cybersecurity as a culture amongst all stakeholders, and everybody has to contribute in making the ecosystem more secure. The government alone cannot do this.
Got it. Kanishk?
Any pre-installed app which is put will not solve for the larger cybercrime, cyber fraud issues of the country. If it has to be done, it has to be done through building a security culture, by building it cybersecurity awareness, security by design, trust by design. This app is not bringing trust by design because the user consent has not taken into consideration. There has been no public consultation, and it has been imposed on the users without proper testing of the app. So I don't think so this is solving for the issue right now.
Okay, so two experts both saying this is not solving for the issue right now. Last one question that I want to ask both of you as well. Dr. Pawan Duggal, how are other countries fighting the issue? Cybersecurity is a challenge for, for governments across the globe, right? How are other countries, how are other sort of, areas of dominance dealing with it? Or even, corporate enterprises dealing with it?
Well, every country is adopting its own methodology. They are coming up with dedicated laws on cybersecurity. They're also coming up with national cybersecurity policies. They're going in for extensive capacity building programs. And ultimately, they're all ultimately aiming at trying to protect the critical information infrastructure. So it's a mixed bag. Everybody has got their own approaches to deal with it. India can't do a cut, copy, paste. India needs to do its own particular strategy to go ahead and protect cybersecurity more so when India does not have any dedicated law on cybersecurity yet.
Dedicated law, that seems to be something that both of you have been highlighting, that's what's the need of the hour. That's what we need to really get into, not an app which is so-called going to sort of fix it, and both of you are saying it's not going to fix it. Then Kanishk, what will? Get down to what is required in the cybersecurity law right now to ensure that my data is mine, not Google's, not Instagram's, not WhatsApp's, not even the government's. My data is mine.
So introduce the personal data protection bill and make minimum exceptions to it. The number of government departments which have been put under exception, that needs to be coming out clearly. Right? Give people their right to choose, the right to be forgotten, the right to consent, right? So you have to give the digital rights to people, whether they want to download such an app. Don't make it mandatory. Don't make it pre-installed. Make privacy as a culture. If the Supreme Court of India has said that privacy is a fundamental right of the Indian citizens, implement it on ground. The government needs to showcase it by doing it. Right? I think that is not happening. And this app pre-installation is a clear example that the government is violating the fundamental right of Indian citizen, which is privacy.
Got it. Kanishk Gaur, Dr. Pawan Duggal, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us with your perspective on this. So two experts there, and the verdict is pretty solid. The verdict is pretty simple, that they don't think this will solve the problem. So we need to go back and see what exactly will happen. Also, the phone makers, Apple, for example, has already come out to say that they will not be complying.